Our speaker today is Dr. Dennis Hefner. As I said, he has been president of SUNY Fredonia for 13 years, and we had a lot of interesting conversation at our table. He has his PhD in economics, so quite a timely topic in 2009. So with that, I'd like you to welcome Dr. Dennis Hefner.
Well, I want to thank the League for inviting me to this annual meeting. I know that frequently you have held events on the campus. I've had a chance to attend a number of those events, and they're always very informative and well-run, and I really congratulate you on what you do on a regular basis. Well, I was asked to talk a little bit about SUNY Fredonia and say a few words about its future, so I'm going to keep kind of going back and forth a little bit on the present, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the things that we have in the works that we're expecting in the next few years. In terms of trying to provide an overview, I decided that I'm going to talk about 6 subjects tonight. And I'll go through them fairly quickly because I know that I am the after-dinner speaker, and after-dinner speakers, 15 minutes is reasonable, 20 minutes is getting long, and 25 minutes you should be kicked out the door. So I don't want anybody kicking me out the door, so I'm going to zip through this fairly quickly. But I thought, first of all, in terms of talking about the campus and its future, I should mention so a little bit about our mission and our academic programs. As you know, we offer baccalaureate and master's level students. Are we looking to go towards doctorates in the future? The answer is absolutely not. What Fredonia specializes in is that personal contact between faculty members and students. It's what we are known for. It's what we want to continue doing. We don't need to have doctorates. When we have great students, we send them to absolutely wonderful doctoral granting universities, and our students do exceedingly well. What we want to do well is what we do now, and so our mission is going to remain what it is at this time. In terms of academic programs, of course, we're known for our arts programs, the music and the theater, and education was our founding program, but we really have diversified and have a lot of wonderful programs. What do we have coming up in the future, and where have we kind of been going? What we've been doing is trying to build on our current strengths. We put in the first media arts program in the state of New York, which takes our strong arts program, combines it together with a computer program, and that way we have tremendous computer animation programs. The graphic design has just gone in tremendous directions, illustrative design, and it's an area that we really are starting to specialize in. In terms of education, there's been a problem in the state of New York. If we're trying to increase the number, for example, of science teachers in high school, for them to come back to Fredonia, and if they didn't take certain education courses as an undergraduate, the state has required us to force them to take one more year of undergraduate work and then another year to get their master's degree. Well, there is a new program called the MAT, the Masters in Arts in Teaching. We have just implemented our very first one in science. Our first students have just been admitted, and they're going to start this fall. And so if someone has completed a physics degree or a geosciences degree or chemistry, they're going to be able to come back to campus and in one summer and 1 year be able to complete their master's degree. They will get their teaching certificate. They already had a good base in the sciences, and they're going to be able to go out into the market. So we've been looking at those kind of improvements, and at the master's level, in about 2 years, we will be adding an MBA program to better serve the region. So that's kind of where we're going in terms of our mission and in terms of some of the academic programs. People frequently ask a second question, what's the campus going to do relative to its growth? Are we going to be growing rapidly? And I've been there 13 years, and I can tell you in the last 13 years we have grown by slightly more than 1,000 students. When I arrived, we were about 4,400. We are now a little over 5,400 full-time equivalent. We actually have 5,600 head count, 5,200 undergraduates, 400 graduate students. Now, I think the reason a lot of people want to know about the growth, at least one reason I think they want to know, is growth does bring resources to the region. Just to let you know what 1,000 additional students on campus means, I wrote this down. For 1,000 students, it will be approximately 50 additional full-time faculty, 60 additional full-time staff, those will all be state employees, plus we'll have more than 40 additional staff members that will be working in some of our auxiliary organizations, residence halls, food service, bookstore, other services that we provide. So 1,000 additional students means that we've created about 150 jobs just on campus. Now those 1,000 students, they go into the community and they spend money. Now half of our students live on campus, half live off, so the ones that are off are both renting, buying lots of groceries at the store. 1,000 students will basically spend about $3.6 million in the local community. Just 1,000 students is that much. And so there is an interest in seeing us grow. The campus right now, however, is slowing down the growth. We had lots of capacity when I arrived on campus. We were not full. We had very few classes we ran at 8 o'clock. Well, you can't find an empty classroom today at 8 o'clock. We have really filled up the campus. We're using capacity. I'm an economist. I hate to see resources not being used, but we're actually a little larger than the campus is supposed to be relative to our footprint. So we are looking at a little growth, but over the next 5 years, we will grow a maximum of 200 more full-time equivalent students, about 40 FTE per year. And we're doing that for 2 reasons. One, we don't want to lose the personal touch that Fredonia is famous for. And if we become too large, we feel we're going to lose that connection between the faculty and the students. And secondly, if the campus grows too large, it can tend to overwhelm the community. And we don't think that that would be very helpful within the region for us to be basically having a campus where there's so much overflow into the community that the community loses some of its identity too, and all it is a campus that happens to be out into the community. So we're going to try and keep the campus roughly at the size where it is for at least the next 5 to 6 years. What's happening in terms of number of students and selectivity? This is a good news part of my remarks. We've just set another new record for applications. In fact, we've closed for freshman applications. We won't accept any more applications earlier than we ever have before. Our SATs next year are going to be about 11:30 for incoming students. It'll be the highest in the campus has ever had. I know we put lots of information out on our rankings, U.S. News and World Report, Kiplinger's Princeton Review, all rank us very high. And in fact, the U.S. News and World Report has us ranked as 12th in the Northeast amongst public master's universities. Students coming in, many have to do auditions or portfolios. We don't just go on SATs. About 30% of the students we accept have had to go through an audition or a portfolio. There's a lot of competition to get onto campus. For example, in music, we have about 125 freshman slots every single year. This year, for the 125 freshman slots in music, over 850 students went through auditions. That makes us incredibly selective.